Yeah, go ahead, Anush.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining. So today we'll talk about how we can boost Salesforce capability with help of Heroku. So small intro about myself. Myself Anuj, I'm certified application and system architect, as well as I'm leading CyberJet developer user group, and also spoken about Salesforce many times in various community events in India Dreaming, JDF, and Travel Trailblazings, and many more. You can connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Gmail as well. So this is our today's agenda. Like we discuss about what is Heroku, features of Heroku, then we'll see how many ways we can integrate a Salesforce with Heroku. Then we'll consider one use case, and then we have enough time for Q&A. So before we jump into what is Heroku, we'll see how this concept came and why we need Heroku. What is the need of what is the need of the Heroku? So this diagram looks very confusing, very weird. There are many boxes, difficult to understand, right? So let me help you to clear all these doubts. So this is a very old diagram. I can say an architecture diagram of on-premise system around 10 to 12 years back. So you can see in the diagram, like there are many nodes. There are web and proxies and what are all these. So these are nothing but the surrounding that we need to run your application. So in previous, like in on-premise system, we have to manage everything, right? We have to manage server, we have to manage security, infrastructure, database, many things. So in this whole diagram, where exactly our application is, so this is our application, only this portion, and all the surrounding, which whatever you can see, this all are needed to keep your application up and running. Yes, so you are spending your time to build your application, but also you are spending your time to these all surrounding. So that's why Heroku came into the picture, and the motto of Heroku is you write your application and Heroku does the rest. Like it is providing us a platform to build, to develop, like deploy any application. In another way, if you have idea, with help of Heroku, you can convert that particular idea into one URL. That means a application which is globally available to all the users. So yeah, it's a simple definition of Heroku. So now we have like basic understanding what is Heroku. Now we move to features of Heroku. So these are some few terminology like dynos, database, elements, DevOps, and enterprise. So these are basically features provided by the Heroku. So I'll quickly like introduce each of them in one liner. So these all things are needed for our session to understand how we can integrate with the Salesforce. So Dyno you can consider is a small virtual machine on which your application will be running. Database, we all know a database. Elements are like the extra package that whatever we need to connect to run application into Heroku, those are considered as elements. DevOps, we are very much aware about DevOps like CI/CD, we all know that. And enterprise, so Heroku provides enterprise features like private space, like you can provide extra level of security on your application if you use a Heroku enterprise. So these are the basic features provided by the Heroku. So now we talk about how, like what is Heroku and what are the features. Now we'll see how we can integrate with Salesforce, or there are how many ways we can integrate with Salesforce. So basically there are 5 ways we can integrate Heroku with Salesforce. Based on requirement and the use case, we have to decide like which way we have to choose. So the first one is MuleSoft. We all are aware about MuleSoft is a middleware which used to integrate various systems. If your org has a complex requirement and enterprise solution, then you can go ahead with the MuleSoft. So with help of MuleSoft, we can easily integrate, but it's very costly solution, I can say. So there another solution is enterprise API. So what does it mean? It means you can develop your own integration or you can develop your own sync functionality. We as a developer, as a consultant, as an architect, we know how to develop integration, right? So it's the same. We have partner Vistal, we have enterprise Vistal, and we have APIs available. So we can utilize those and we can develop our custom solution. So the second point refers to the custom solution to integrate with Heroku. The third is Salesforce Connect. It means in any of the external system, you have data available and you want those data should be virtually available into Salesforce. Then you can use Salesforce Connect. In a simpler term, there is another external system B and you want that B system data into Salesforce, so you do not have to copy all the data and insert into Salesforce. You can simply use a Salesforce Connect and it will replicate all the data in Salesforce. The fourth is Heroku Connect. The Heroku Connect is connected through the on-premises Postgre database. Yes, there is one limitation here. With help of Heroku Connect, you can only connect with Postgre database. So if your on-premise system or your external system is already using Heroku Postgre database, then you can directly connect with Heroku Connect. In some scenarios, you need to take care about your API limits, your syncing functionality, or you want to bi-directional sync. Then this is the best option for going forward. And Salesforce 360. It's a Salesforce integration cloud, we can say. So everything should be connected, like every cloud will connect it with each other and you can share the data. So that's what all Salesforce 360. So now we'll know like how many ways we can connect with the Heroku. Now we'll discuss one business scenarios or use case and we'll decide out of these 5 ways which are the ways which way we can connect Heroku with Salesforce. So let's move to the business use case. Everyone knew universal containers, right? In Salesforce, a universal container is very well-known company. Okay, so there is another company, Global Container. So universal container acquired a global container. So these two are happy CEOs of those two companies, and they establish a strategic partnership between those two. So these all are like higher management discussion. Now, what exactly this partnership mean to us? So, as a background, Universal Container is using their account and contact and all other business related data into Salesforce. Apart from that, a global container is storing all other account related and the business related data into Heroku Postgre database. As part of strategic partnership, the both CEOs have decided now both companies are able to see each other's accounts. So here we as a developer, consultant and architect came into the picture and we have to solve this particular problem. So what we have to do? We have to make sure that all the accounts which are available into UC side are visible to the global containers, and whatever accounts are there on-premises Postgre database should be visible to the universal container. So we have to establish this particular link to work it correctly, right? So we have seen there are five ways we can connect Heroku with Salesforce. Now, so we can see now we'll see how many like what are the correct match for us to achieve this particular functionality. Okay, we can use Salesforce Connect and we'll use Heroku Connect. So why Heroku Connect? Because the global containers already using Heroku Postgre. So it will be very easy to connect with Heroku Connect and bring all the data from universal containers to global containers through Heroku Connect. So that's a one like first step. Now we have to bring all the data from global containers to universal containers. So we'll use Salesforce Connect. So those two are like similar terms. So I know it's a little bit confusing. So now next diagram will help you to understand it in a more better way. So this is a proposed architecture landscape. So what we are gonna do, we'll connect. So this is a Heroku Connect. So we'll use Heroku Connect to bring all the accounts from universal container, that means from Salesforce to Postgre database using Heroku Connect. So Heroku Connect will directly fetch all the account from here to here. So now the step one is completed. Now global container can view universal containers account, right? So step one is completed. Now step two, we have to bring all the global containers account into Salesforce. So here we have option of external object. So we'll connect using OData and will virtually available all the accounts from Postgre database to Salesforce. So these accounts are available as a read-only mode. The universal containers employee can see those accounts but cannot edit, and it's near the sync between those two is near to the real time. So this is a proposed diagram, I can say. So this is what we are we'll see in a demo. So now it's demo time. So we'll move to demo. So to connect that one, first we need to create, we need to log into Heroku. We should have Heroku account. So you can simply log in into Heroku by id.heroku.com. So I already logged in, and we have to create one application. So I have created one application, SF Heroku demo. Now I'll click on that one. So as of now, I am using a free Heroku account. So you can try out by yourself also. A free Heroku account provide many facilities, so you can try out. So we can go to resource. So as we have discussed into diagram, first we have to provision Heroku Connect to bring data from Salesforce to on-premise system. So I have provision Heroku Connect. So you can provision any of the add-ons by typing name here. So I have provision Heroku Connect and also provision Heroku Postgre. So this Heroku Postgre is a database used by on-premises system in our case, which is global containers. So now I'll open Heroku Connect. So the Heroku Connect will bring data from Salesforce to on-premise system. So I have already established a connection. So when you are doing this first time, you have to select your Salesforce org here. Then you can go to mappings. Here I have mapped account object. You can see these are 1388 accounts from Salesforce are available into the Postgre database. So it's a first step, bringing account from Salesforce to Postgre database. It's correct. So now any update will happen into Salesforce side. Due to this Heroku Connect, it will bring all that update into database directly, and it will not consume any of your API limits. So that's a bad advantage of this particular Heroku Connect. So it's a first part. Now we'll see second part, which is a second part, which is like global containers want to send their account data into Salesforce. So how we can achieve this particular functionality? So first we'll see Postgre database. So again, I'll go here. I'll open this particular Postgre database. You can simply click here and it will open into new tab. So this is a Postgre database. So in database, like it's a normal SQL, like pre-SQL database. So from UI perspective, you cannot see much. So that is the reason I have connected this particular Postgre database with one of the PG admin. That's a tool which are used to visually visually represent or define that particular data. So this is a database and this is a table. If I scroll down here, you can see account data. So this account data is a table which is used to store data of global containers. So as of now, the table has a two column, account ID and account name. These are the primary key. We all know in terms of SQL, right? What is primary key? So these are the primary key used to identify the records uniquely, and these are the account names. So now these all accounts are already available in global containers Postgre database. Now we have to bring all this data directly into Salesforce. So how we can bring those data into Salesforce? So that's our like pain point, or we have to achieve this particular functionality, right? So how we can do that one? So we have already connected Heroku Connect. So with help of Heroku Connect, you can see one tab here, external object, and you can see now we have two particular tables available into our Postgre database. One is a Salesforce schema. It means this table is created by Salesforce and it contains a Salesforce account. And another one is account data table, which is already used by the on-premise system and which is in a public schema. So now we want to bring this account data into Salesforce. So as we have seen into architecture landscape, we can use it using external object and OData version 4. So you can see this particular service URL, OData version, access and everything. So now we'll set up the some configuration setting into Salesforce and we'll bring all the data. So for that one, what I did is I have created one external object and you can see all the data are available here. So for that one, we simply refresh it. All the data will be refreshed directly here. So as I told, it's near to real time, right? So let me update some data here. So I'll make it master account 1. Instead of that, I'll write, I'll click on OK. So now it is not yet saved to database. Now I have to save to database. So here is a button, save data changes. I'll click on that one. It's saving to database. Data successfully saved. Now I'll move. So you can see the ID. ID is 101. I'll move here. ID is 101. And here is a master account. I'll click on refresh. Now it's a partner account. You can open that particular record here. You can generate some report on that data. So it means you have established a connection from Salesforce to Postgre database, and also you are bringing a data from Postgre database to Salesforce. So for this one, like I haven't done a single line of code. With just point and click, I'm able to achieve this particular bidirectional sync. So in many use cases, we can utilize a Heroku to boost our Salesforce capabilities. So that's all from my end. Like that's what I wanted to show at this moment. So now I'll discuss about Q&A. So any questions, guys, you can ask me.
Arish, the questions are on chat. Can you just check that?
Sure. The first question by Kamal, is there any data limitation for Heroku? So Kamal, at this moment, there is no specific data restriction, but you have a data restriction in terms of certain amount, like million rows you can copy from here to there. So you can also buy some add-ons to like overcome that particular functionality, like overcome that particular limitation. The second question from Sandhya: what is sandbox refresh strategy if a Heroku Connect is established with 10 object table data? We'll need to truncate table in PostgreDB. I believe pgadmin 4 will not work with Heroku private space, so only option is to view Heroku CLI alternative. Is there any way to have roles visibilities to certain tables for certain users when we can use Heroku as a database? Okay, yes, and yeah. So for the sandbox refresh strategy, if Heroku is already connected with the 10 object, if sandbox is got refreshed, so Postgre data will be remain same. It won't delete it from the Postgre, so it will remain same. And pgadmin has some limitation, I do agree on that one, but like for the most of the time pgadmin should work, but ideally Heroku also prefers that you should get hands-on with the Heroku CLI. So data we have to truncate in case of sandbox refresh, right? Yes, like we have to like keep a copy of that data, because if the data is not no more available into the Salesforce, and still it will be available into Heroku side, it will still be there onto Heroku Postgre. Uh, is there any way to have roles visibility for certain tables for certain users? So there is no specific roles we can define into the Postgre side, but from the Heroku side, like in the Heroku, we can decide some roles like what a user can access on the Heroku level, but there is no specific roles we can decide on the database side from the Heroku. We have to decide everything onto that Postgre server using the CLI. We cannot directly from the UI or anywhere we can directly define the roles to control the visibility of the table. So this is all like our on-premises SQL table database concept. Like we have to grant some permission like that. Can we do push notification to Salesforce using Heroku? I haven't tried that one, but yes, we can do using a platform event, and that publisher subscriber model, we can achieve that particular functionality. We can do that one. So any platform is providing event, then with help of Heroku you can listen that particular event through the API, and then you can send a notification as well by API to some another service. Okay. Which integration would you recommend from Heroku app, Node.js to Salesforce? So it's depend on the use case, like what functionality we want to do, like how frequent we need the data. We can decide, but if Node.js, like if Node.js app is already using a Heroku Postgre for the database or something like that, so we can go ideally with the point and click solution, which is Heroku Connect. Apart from that, like we can go with the enterprise API solution, that will be also easy one. At the end, if we have like very complex requirement and we do have a budget, then we can think of a MuleSoft, but the MuleSoft licensing is very costly as far as I know. So try to, like, we should always prefer to go in cost effective manner. So like custom, and the preference would be like Heroku Connect, then custom APIs, and then go with any external tool like middleware. Yes, Heroku Connect only work with Postgre database. We do have other database like Kafka and Redis, but Heroku Connect won't work with them. Yeah, Heroku Connect also don't work with MongoDB as of now, like as a standard connector. We have to think of some custom solution. So that's the main like catch when we are using Heroku Connect. It should work with Heroku Postgre. Do we have any commands in Heroku? So Kamal, so like I have used a like UI version to simulate all the things. So from the UI, whatever you can see, whatever button, whatever the things you can do from the UI, everything you can do with the command. Or I can say in more better way you can do from the command. So Heroku prefers you use a CLI, but from a demo perspective, I have used this point and click thing. So for the command, like I can show you few things. You have to set up CLI into your system, but from the command, if you, I'll so quickly settings. I have seen somewhere you can see the logs there. You can set up Heroku like this. You can connect to Git and you can like try all the commands using like same way we are using a SFDX, right? The same way we have Heroku CLI available. We can configure with the Git and we can try it out all the commands.
Okay, team, do we have any more questions? Okay, if not, thank you, Anuj.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, team, that was the session for today. And next week, we have a session by Sandhya. It's on exploring composite resources with the Salesforce REST API. So please do make sure you join for the same and let your friends know as well. Okay. Thank you all for joining and have a good night.